Right, let's check in with the money desk. So Melita, Stats SA released the first quarter 2022 GDP data, and it shows growth.
That's correct, Masego. I must say that the growth is actually really unexpected because we did expect actually less than what the economists had expected, I must say. And these numbers actually show that the economy is slowly returning to pre-pandemic levels. So just to show you what we're actually talking about, can I just pull up those numbers that we did have? Okay, so you would notice that in last year, for the last quarter, between October and December, the economy had seen a growth of 1.4%. And now in January, for the first 3 months, from January to March, we do see that there has been a growth of 1.9%. And that's actually good news, Masego, because it reflects the economy's growth for the first quarter of 2022 and that of 2021 is actually starting to show signs of recovery. And now analysts had expected growth of around 1.7%, and that wasn't actually in line with the Reserve Bank's outlook for 2022. And one of the reasons for that was the gradual removal of the monetary policy stimulus and how it would basically affect consumers' debt, considering that last year it was at low levels. And so this was expected to even affect the expenditure side of GDP, Masego. So with the economic impact of the KZN floods, which we had seen earlier on in the year, which occurred, the Stats SA is basically saying that we'll only start seeing the impact of that in September.
All right, so what happened on the production side of things?
Okay. So let's just look at those numbers, Masego, because we had noticed that about eight of the 10 industries did show a growth in the first quarter. We see that manufacturing actually went up as well, and that was the star performer, with trade and catering actually following that. So the rise in manufacturing output, Masego, was mainly driven by growth in the first quarter. It was mainly driven, by a rise in the production of petroleum and chemicals. So finance, real estate as well did just follow on that. But Masego, I must say that on the downside, both the mining sector as well as construction had contracted in the first year. And I must say, it's also quite interesting that on the other hand, the construction continues to contract now for the fourth time in consecutively, Masego. So let's just hear what our economists actually had to say on that.
I think very importantly, what was a big growth driver was the tertiary or the services sector. And that is probably related to the opening up of the economy. And what continues to struggle, and I think this is a major worry, is the construction side of the economy. So there's some good news, it's the services side of the economy. There's some replacement of capital taking place, but we're still not seeing the pickup, especially in the construction side of the economy.